Hey guys, we are back with another video. Here I am, ready to just dive in, alright? If you don't know, if you're new here, I'm Laon, a certified life coach and addiction recovery coach that teaches manifestation so you can manifest the life of your dreams. If you want help with any one-on-one services or a manifestation straightforward guide, all of that is going to be in the drop box below, so go check it out, alright? Now, I don't really have a topic for this video. I'm just kind of winging it. Because I want to be there for you guys and support you guys, so I want to make sure that the content gets pushed, you know? So I'm kind of thinking about, when someone's spiraling and what to do to go about that. So that's what I think the topic of this. I might go on a little bit of a rampage. I don't know where this is going to go, so just enjoy the ride. All right, so when we are manifesting someone or something into our reality, a lot of times we have the habit, subconsciously, we don't want to do this, but subconsciously we have the habit of reacting to our 3D and spiraling, feeling really, really doubtful about our manifestations, feeling really bad, like incapable that we're able to manifest these things. And all of that is coming from, is your mind trying to protect you? See, we've always had a certain programming installed into our mind. So say if we're trying to manifest a specific person and all we've ever known is, you got to move on after a breakup because, they're not coming back. They cheated, they lied, you're not worthy of love because they told you you're a piece of shit. Maybe you blame yourself for why you guys broke up. Maybe you didn't do certain things. Maybe you didn't act a certain way. All of that is bullshit, right? That's old programming that is just stories that we continued to tell ourselves, and then it built our belief system. So we can change it. The same way that we created those stories and built that belief system, we could do the exact same thing. But in that process, a lot of times we go through spiraling, reacting, purging, it could be called too. And it's just your mind trying to protect you, because once you start telling it a new story, your mind's like, whoa, wait, that's not what I've been told before. So let's stay in the familiar zone. Let's stay in the comfortable place, even if it's toxic, even if it's crappy and it's not what you don't want. It's safer over here than try to venture out and do something different. That's all your mind's doing. And it's not intending to do it to sabotage. It's just based off of the programming. So that's where the new affirmations are going to come into place. Because as we persist in these new affirmations, it's going to then train you to be a new person. And then you start to embody the version of you that you would be if you already had this experience or already was with this person or was already this new person that you are choosing to be in this moment. So that's why we do these different techniques. It's not technically the technique that's manifesting, it's changing us. It's going inside of our imagination and being somebody different than who we are now and experiencing something different than what we are experiencing now. So that's why we use these different techniques, because it's I guess a form of brainwashing, because you're conditioning yourself to think differently, to be different, to act differently. So in the middle of that process, you might come up with a whole bunch of limiting beliefs of why it's not possible, why it hasn't happened before, why you're not capable of doing it now, and all these old memories of the crap that you experienced to prove to you that this is what you're familiar with. And when that happens, a lot of people start to spiral. Okay, because sometimes this does happen in the 3D. It's not just all internal, because again, our internal world is our external world. And I say that in just about every single video. So we're doing the internal work. Sometimes it purges out and splurges into our 3D, and then people spiral. So say if they're manifesting a specific person, they're starting to have all these limiting beliefs come up. They're starting to panic about these limiting beliefs because it's contradictory to the new story that they're trying to create in their mind. And then maybe you get blocked. Then maybe you see them with a third party and you start to spiral like, oh my God, this isn't working. Why isn't this working? But I've been affirming and I've been doing this. Okay, that's good that you've been doing that, but we have to persist through that, because then that means our mind is in the process of being tricked, right? Because you can't coerce your subconscious. It's smarter than that. Okay, you can't manipulate it. So you just have to persist in the new story until it starts to believe it. And maybe on a conscious level, you might not believe it, but subconsciously it starts to build that belief like, oh, okay, it is safe over here now. Oh, okay, this is the new story we're going with. All right, then I don't need to fight this anymore because you're telling me that this is safe, that this is okay, to have this as our new experience. And then it projects it out. But sometimes it tries to fight you because you're going against the grain. You're going against everything you ever knew. So we want to do our best to not spiral, not to react to our 3D or react and then revise afterwards. Why would we train ourselves to be scared of our 3D and have to revise it? Or, I told him off and I did this and I did that and I really gave it to him. And then I went back and revised it. Why would you want to do all of the extra work? Why not just, look at your 3D. All right, that's feedback. This wasn't happening before, but I'm affirming my new story. So I understand that sometimes the law does, some purging because it's making room for the new story. Or there's, some resistance there. So I just got to persist. And I know how to persist. I continue to embody the version of me that is already in the relationship, that already has the money, that is already going to the dream career. Things like that. And that's the mindset we want to take it at and be at, because that's going to change the 3D a lot faster. Like, you realize, even if you go back and revise your reactions or revise your the things that played out, yes, it works, but you're making more work for yourself. And not that it will take longer to change it, but there's an easier way, okay? There is an easier way where you can get faster results. And think about it like this. You react to your 3D. You got to go home, get in meditation, and either affirm against it for a few days or visualize for it for a few days or a few hours, however you decide to do it. And then it will embed into your subconscious and it will change. Or you could just say, all right, that's just feedback. I get that happened. I'm choosing not to buy into it because I know my truth. And just keep it moving. Which one do you think is going to change your 3D faster? The one where you're not giving it any energy. You're not giving it any power. So that really proves to your subconscious, hey, I'm serious about this new version of me. I'm serious about this new life that I'm creating. And it changes like that, all right? That's the mindset we need to have. And it does take training. It does take practice. But it is possible, okay? It is. Just takes that discipline, all right? You have to make that choice of what you really want to do. Who you really are in this moment. In moment to moment. What story are you really going to stay convinced to? Stay committed to? As committed as you are to manifesting your specific person and believing that you guys are meant to be together, that that's your person, you need to have that same conviction to the desire. Okay? Whatever you're manifesting. Do you get what I'm saying here? Got to have that same conviction to the new story. That's how you are able to manifest a lot faster. Because you're not wavering, you're not questioning, you're not doubting. You are staying true to the new story so it can manifest faster. And another thing that can really speed up everything is having that foundation. Manifestation is easy for me. Manifestation does work for me. Manifesting the things I desire is an instant thing for me. It manifests instantly for me. That is the mindset that you need to have. So if you want to affirm that along with your desire affirmations, then do that, because that is a self-concept. If you have a self-concept of manifestation being easy, simple, and fast for you, then all of your manifestations have to be easy, simple, and fast. Okay? So it gets rid of a lot of that resistance because we doubt our ability. We doubt if we're capable. We're doubting and not having faith in our power, right? And that's where a lot of the resistance comes from. So we clear out that resistance by affirming and embodying the version of us that is a master at manifesting. And then it allows the desires to come in a lot faster. And because you have faith in it, you won't waver when something comes up. You won't spiral. Or it'd be very far and few in between when you do. And I'm not saying to suppress your emotions, not at all. If anything, get them out. But how I do it is an inner conversation. If there's something that's really eating me up inside and I really need to speak my mind, I have an internal conversation with that person or with the scenario, whatever. And, I lay it out to them. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. I think it's fucked up. I think it's like this. And lay it out and then hear what I need to hear back to feel comforted, to feel like I have closure about the situation, to feel like it's going to happen now. Because if we're holding on to all of that emotional baggage and trying to suppress it, like, oh, I can't spiral. No, I got to high vibes all the time in the manifestation community. They said you can't react. They said they da-da-da-da. If you are doing that and you're suppressing everything, that's still inside of you. So if you're suppressing your emotions and it's still inside of you, then that means you're going to continue to experience things that are going to trigger those emotions because you haven't dealt with them. And that's why you're getting triggered if the person does something and you keep re-experiencing the same emotions, the same resentment, the same anger. You have to clear that. And the way that you do that, again, if you want to do the inner conversation way, lay it all out and then have them reflect back like, I'm sorry that you felt like that. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to make you feel like that. I love you. I adore you. Or if it's, your parents, sorry that, we raised you like that. We were growing up ourselves and, you were our first child, whatever it is, and hear them apologize and comfort you. Do it with a job, like your boss maybe is a complete dickhead. So do it with your job and have that inner conversation. I'm sorry I treated you like that because I really do appreciate you. You are a more than qualified employee and you deserve, the best from us and me in this company, and we want to see you grow, and you deserve promotions and pay raises because you really go above and beyond. Hear what you need to hear and lay it out to them the way that you need to. Okay? If you got to get angry in your inner conversation and, start yelling, screaming, getting it out, then do it. It's not going to harm anyone. It's not going to mess up your manifestation. Because if you're doing it once or maybe twice until you clear out all those emotions, you're going to realize how much better you feel and how much more clear your mind is, and then not be triggered by your 3D anymore, because now you have resolved that internal conflict within yourself. So you will stop experiencing conflict in your external world. And there won't be any more reason to spiral or to feel sad or to feel upset or resentful for this person doing this thing, no matter who it is. Okay? So get it out, have the inner conversation, hear what you need to hear from them in a loving way. Hear them apologize if that's what you're looking for. Hear them support you if that's what you're looking for. Hear them say, I was wrong. I'm sorry that I did that. And always end it on a good note to where they're like, you can choose to forgive me and it's only going to benefit you. Or we can do this again. We can continue to talk about it further. Just like a normal conversation. Until you feel better, do it. Usually it only takes 1 or 2 times. And then after that, drop it. And you'll realize that you want to drop it, that it's no longer an issue for you. Because you don't feel that way anymore. You have now felt those emotions, which that's all they wanted, was to be felt. And then you carry on with your manifestation. So that's my way to go about spiraling or feeling any kind of anger, resentment, or, hurt in any type of way or situation. So then I stop reacting to the 3D if something happens, or I stop spiraling if something happens. That's how you take control. You become disciplined, you go into your internal world, hear what you need to hear, say what you need to say, and become that person. If you got the apology, you would be good. You would have that closure and you would feel good about yourself and be ready to move on to bigger and better things, or ready to move on and further the relationship. Okay? Am I correct there? Because I know I am, all right? Because I've done this time after time after time. This is my way. I don't do anything in the 3D. I don't, converse with people in, a fighting manner in a 3D. I used to voice my opinion. It got me nowhere. It would just be more frustrating because it would just be an argument back and forth, or they wouldn't say what I would want them to say. The internal world, you always hear what you want. It always supports you. And don't sit there and think, oh, this isn't a real conversation. It's definitely real. When you get lost in it and immersed in it, you forget where you even are. You are internally in a complete different world experiencing this conversation with whoever you need to experience it. Okay? So I know that this was a little bit random, but I try to stay on the same topic. That's how you go about spiraling and reacting. Be disciplined. Don't suppress your emotions. Let it out. I gave you, tips of how you're able to let it out and, without having to go back and revise it, okay? So that's the video for today, okay? So thank you for being here, and as always, guys, you got this.